Hello, Andrew.
Hey, Victor.
Hey, Lucho. Hey, Mike. Hey, Benjamin.
Hello.
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 Hey, Paman. Hey, Michael. Bruno. Hey, Lawrence. Let's just wait a couple more minutes to see if anyone else is joining us. Then we can start.
Could I ask a question, Victor?
Sure.
The other day, I was sent by Felix a Google form for CA workshops. And so I filled that out and I sent it in, but I didn't hear back from that one. Is this the same as that?
Yes, it's the same. I think he was going to make like a distribution list with everyone who submitted there, but I'm not sure if he's done this already.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, sure. And then there's one next week as well, or what? Is that
Yes.
true?
Yeah, there's this one
Thank
today. There's another one tomorrow at Eastern Town Hall at 12 UTC. Another one this Saturday during the swarm session at 17 UTC. And another one next week at the same time as now.
Oh, and they're all the same essentially, or do you need to take two of them or something like that?
No, these are the same. We are going to have another one for like advanced people who have been a CA before and they want to get deeper about assessing proposals and everything.
Oh, great. The veteran CAs. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thanks, Victor.
Hey everyone, we have more people here. Hey Andreas, Fototsugo, hey Navid, hey Mike, hey Kawe. I think Kawe is Brazilian as well, right? Okay. Hi Blake, hi Merrick. Is it your first time here, Merrick?
Mine? Yeah. We want to hear about something about the community advisors, how to become one, and what should I do?
Hi, Rodolfo. Hi, Henry. Okay, so I think I have a lot of people here already, so I'm going to share my screen.
Victor, if you can start recording the breakout room.
It's recording already.
Okay, great.
Great, but thanks for the reminder. And I see a hand raised, Michael Yagi.
Oh yeah, sorry. So I'm new here, so I was wondering, is this the place to be for learning how to be a CA?
Yes, this is the place.
Gotcha. Just double checking, thanks.
No worries. So please let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Great. So welcome everyone. This session is part of the Catalyst School project. We are hosting some sessions like this to introduce people to the different roles in Catalyst. And we are also participating in Fund 5. We are submitting a proposal there. So just talking very shortly about the project itself, because it might interest you. Some of the people here might want to join other sessions, other workshops. So the main topics that we have in Catalyst School is, as I mentioned, introduction to Catalyst, proposing in Catalyst, how to be a community advisor, and how to be a veteran community advisor. And if you don't know what this means, don't worry, you're going to learn here. And we provide information we want to provide this information through live sessions and workshops like this one.
Hey,
We are,
I'm sorry to bother. Can I record from my computer as well? I am not native speaker and I have to see again to understand sometimes. So
sure.
I tried and the Zoom told me that I needed permission.
Yes, sure. I'm not sure if I like need to do something from my side,
I'm not sure as well.
but we are recording and I can share we are uploading this to YouTube later and I can share the
Great,
link
great,
with you.
great, great. Sorry. Thank you very much.
No worries. So, as I was saying, we provide this information through live sessions and workshops like this one. We are also going to provide one-to-one and group multi-language support for those who doesn't speak English or are not comfortable in communicating in English, like Luis. I think, Luis, you are Brazilian as well, right?
Yes, I'm Brazilian. I actually I feel a little bit comfortable, but not. I can understand very well, but speaking is a little bit harder for me.
Okay, no worries. So the idea here is to provide support to people who wants to make questions and or doesn't understand like spoken English. And also we are going to create an educational website about all the content that we are going to teach here on how to be a CA, how to be a VCA, how to propose, and general introduction to Catalyst, and some other related workshops. And for the one-to-one and group language support, we are going to provide these. I think we have 10 languages already. Portuguese, I'm Brazilian as well. And we have people from Italy, from Spain, from Poland, from Croatia, from Estonia. So we are going to provide all this information. We want to provide this information in many different languages. And during Fund 6, we've had already 3 sessions about introduction to Catalyst during these after town halls like this one, into proposing Catalyst sessions. We also had some sessions during the Eastern Town Hall. They're not here, but we had them as well. And now we're having these how to be a community advisor sessions this and next weeks, because the community advisors work is starting next Thursday, not tomorrow, the next week. And if you want to connect with us to receive all the announcements, all the information, we have a Twitter account, we've got a Telegram group, a Discord server, and you can find some more links and also some links to our proposals here at this Linktree address. So, Lucio, if you can share them here in the chat with everyone, would be really good. Thanks. So, let's talk about the roles in Catalyst to start with. And these are the main roles that we have. The first one is the proposer, which someone who has an idea and wants to be funded, they can submit their proposals in IDScale, which is the platform that we use in Catalyst to submit and to assess proposals. I'm going to talk more about this in a few slides ahead. We've got the community advisors and the veteran community advisors, and they have similar but a little bit different jobs. The CAs, the community advisors, they assess the proposals. They give them scores from 1 to 5 for 3 different criteria: impact, feasibility, and auditability. And don't worry that I'm going to repeat this many times today. And they give a 1 to 5 score and also a rationale explaining why they gave that score. And the veteran community advisor, they're community advisors that were rewarded in a previous fund. And their job is to make sure that the quality of the CA's assessments is good. So they are going to classify the assessments as excellent, good, or they're going to decide to filter out that assessment from the process. We've got the proposal mentor role, which are people from the community that they are experienced with blockchain or just with Cardano or Catalyst, and they want to help proposers on improving their proposals and having better chances of being funded. We've got voters, which are basically every ADA holder. Today we've got this minimum threshold, which is 500 ADA to be eligible to vote in Catalyst, but this is getting lower and lower. A few funds ago, it was not sure 10,000, 8,000, something like this, and this is getting lower and lower. So we are including more people, and we've got also the refer role, which is basically someone who invites someone to submit their ideas or their projects in Catalyst. And if they are funded, you are going to receive a reward for this. So these are not all the roles, because there is another role that was created during the fund, from funds 5 to 6, but I'm not getting into much details here, but just for you to know, it's the challenge team. They are going to be responsible to keep up with the proposals that are funded in different challenges. If anyone has any questions, just raise your hand and I'll stop for a bit. So for those, yeah.
Sorry, I raised my hand now.
Sorry.
What might be useful is at the moment we're insight sharing, so adding comments to proposals. Could you just explain a little bit how that's different to being a CA?
Yes.
So you're a commenter or a CA. One you get paid for, one you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, we are not in the insight sharing phase now. We are in the proposal refinement phase. We had the insight sharing phase 2 weeks ago, and they are not exactly the same. During the insight sharing, no one submits their proposals. They just submit ideas or problems that they want to be solved. And it's just like a brainstorm week when you can talk to other people in the community to see if you think alike, and if someone has a solution to the problem you are worried about, for example. And there are no proposals submitted in ID scale during the insight sharing phase, just ideas or problems. And after that, we've got the proposal submission week, when the proposers, they submit their proposals in ID scale. So they have 1 week to put their proposals there. And it can be just a draft. It can be just a placeholder. It doesn't have to have too much information at this stage. But after the first week, it's not possible to submit any more proposals there. And now we are in the proposal refinement phase, not the insight sharing, but the proposal refinement. And the idea here is that the community uses ID Scale to provide feedback to proposers. And this is not like an assessment. It's not the same thing exactly as the CAs do at the end of these phases, these proposing phases. The idea is for you, for example, to suggest a proposal to be merged to another one, or you want some clarifications, you just drop a question there. And if you want to provide some constructive feedback, how they can make their proposal better within the same fund. And it has some overlap as assessing a proposal, but it's not necessarily the same thing. And it's this proposal refinement week, it is not rewarded. The community does this just because they want to see the ecosystem flourishing somehow. So they provide free feedback to the proposals that are already in ID Scale. There has been some discussion because, you know, Catalyst is in Fund 6 now, and it is changing very fastly since Fund 1. And for example, I just presented today during the town hall the new reward system that was a bit, not to say very different, in Fund 5. And for example, we didn't have VCAs until Fund 3. So things are changing very fast here. And the way they are, it's not the way they are going to be forever. And if you see some things that can improve, you can also suggest this for the community to IUG, or submit a proposal, for example, suggesting some changes in Catalyst. Did I answer your question, David?
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
So after this week, the proposal refinement week is ending tomorrow at 11 UTC. And after that, the comment session is closed in IDScale. And then the proposers have 1 week when they can finalize their proposals based on the feedback, and they can completely edit the proposal as well. They can erase everything and restart from scratch. This is also allowed and incentivized, as Dor mentioned today. And after this week is finished, we have the proposals assessment by community advisors, which starts next Thursday, on the 9th of September. And we've got 1 week where the CAs go to IDScale and they provide feedback, their scores and rationales to the proposals. So I'm going to get into much details about this in the following slides. And then we've got some days, it's not a week here, I think it's something like 4 days, where the proposers, they can flag the assessments, because, for example, they can see all the assessments made by the CAs, and they can flag the assessments if they think that the assessment's not fair, or it seems like the CA didn't read all the information that was provided in the proposal, or they didn't check, for example, some attachments, or it seemed like they didn't understand what they were evaluating. So the proposers can like flag these assessments, and then in the following stage, the veteran community advisors are going to review also the assessments. They are going to start by those which were flagged by the proposers, but they are actually reviewing all the other assessments as well. So the idea here during this phase is for the veteran community advisors to classify the assessments as excellent, good, or filtered out. And after this phase is finished, then the community is going to vote and decide which proposals are going to be funded and which are not. Any questions here?
I have a question. In the proposal refinement phase, where people can give this feedback, this comment, punctual feedback, I don't know, to, does the proposal appears into the Catalyst app 2 times, one in the proposal refinement phase and one in the community voting phase?
No, this is done in IDScale. I'm going to open the website here in a few slides ahead, and I'm going to show everything there where you comment and where you're going to assess the proposals next week, and where you can find them, the challenges and everything.
And just to add something to that answer, the proposals are in the voting app only during the community voting stage. Before, you can find them only in the IDScale.
Got it.
Yeah, thanks, Merrick.
Sorry about my English.
No worries. So what is a community advisor? Community advisor is basically anyone who wants to be a community advisor, because there are no rules to be a community advisor, but that you cannot be a community advisor and a proposer in the same challenge. So this is new as well. We didn't have this last fund. Things are changing as always, but in a single fund, we have several challenges. I think we have almost 20 challenges in Fund 6. So for example, if you have submitted a proposal in, for example, distributed decision making, which is a challenge that we've got in Fund 6, you cannot be a CA in the same challenge. You can act as a CA in every other challenge, but not in this one. And if you are a VCA, you cannot be a VCA in the same challenge as well, because you are going to be biased in your evaluation. And what is expected from a CA is for them to assess the proposals, to provide feedback to the proposers, so they can improve their proposals for the next time if they are not funded, for example. And by doing this, they are supporting the community voting phase by giving the scores to each proposal. Because imagine you are going to vote in Catalyst and you've got a list of 800 proposals and you have to decide which ones you are upvoting, which ones you are downvoting, and which ones you are not doing neither. So the idea is that these scores provided by DCAs are going to help the voters to decide which proposals are most valuable, which are more likely to be delivered by the project team, and which can be easily audited after they are funded. And the period to, I think this was changed. I'm not sure if Mara can give more information, but it's opening tomorrow at 12 UTC for anyone who wants to be a CA. You have to be registered in ID scale, and a pop-up is going to show up, and you have to check the box that says I want to be a CA. And there are some options actually. I want to be a CA and not a proposer, and I'm a proposer and I want to be a CA in other challenges. And I think there's another box that I don't recall right now.
I don't want to be a CA.
I don't want to be a CA. And I think this is being opened for 2 weeks now, right, Mara?
Yeah, thanks to Lucio. Thank you. He was the voice of the reason, and yeah, why not? That's a really good argument to have registration for CA extended by a week, because why shouldn't we, right?
Yeah, I agree.
But not full 2 weeks, 13 days. There is no point to leave it open until the assess QA stage. So we will finish CA registration the day before, which is 15th of September, I believe, something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So you have several examples that things change fast here, as you can see, but almost always for the better. And I'm going to open here ID scale to show you guys how it looks like. I hope you can still see my screen. Okay, so this is ID scale. I've got my login here. If you don't have an account, you just have to sign up. I'm going to share the link here in the chat. If you want to sign up right now, just feel free to do it. And here is how it works. Here at the bottom, you can see, at first you can see some explanation about how Catalyst works and how to stay up to date. But the most important part here are the active campaigns. In Fund 6, we've got all these challenges. Each one of these are different challenges. So for example, developer ecosystem, DApps, distributed decision making, proposal outreach, many challenges here until this last one. And let's open one just to show how it is. For example, developer ecosystem. Here you've got the name of the challenge, the total budget for this challenge, which is slightly over $1 million, which is paid in ADA for the winners. And the leading question of this challenge is how can we create a positive developer experience that helps the developer focus on building successful apps. So it is very important as a CA that you really know all the description of all challenges, because you are going to evaluate also the alignment between the proposal and the challenge itself. So it's really important for everyone to read the campaign brief. And for example, how success looks like for proposals submitted in this challenge. What are the key metrics to be measured for these proposals as well? These are more like suggestions or direction in which the proposals should do their own key metrics, because each proposal will have their own characteristics, their own features. And guiding questions, and as I mentioned, potential directions. So when you are evaluating a proposal, you need to check this and see if it matches the proposal's goals and objectives. And you can click here and browse ideas to see the proposals. Let's just open this one, for example, that I have opened before. So every proposal has a title, of course, the problem statement, a description of the solution, relevant experience of the proposer or the team, and background in a detailed plan, actually. That's not required, but it's, I would say, it's fundamental for a proposal to be successful and funded. Because if you don't provide details, we cannot be sure that you really have a plan and you are going to deliver something. So at the end, as Luis asked, we've got the comment section where the community can provide feedback. For example, we've got many comments here, and you can load the replies. For example, the idea submitter answered this question or comment, and they are having a conversation here about some aspect, and this can help the proposer in improving their its or his proposal in this case, or their proposal in this case. And when we are in the assessing phase, this activity tab is going to change to assess. So everyone who signed up to be a community advisor is going to see 3 different criteria here, and they can give 1 to 5 stars to each of these criteria, and a rationale as well. So it's not about just giving a score. You have to explain and justify why you are giving this score to this criteria of this proposal. So I kind of skipped the detailed plan here, but you can see this is open. The proposer or the proposing team can write down anything that they think it's relevant to convince the community that their idea is good and they should be funded. For example, here they are talking about the background and problem, their solution, examples, who they are, community growth, the roadmap. This is very important for feasibility and auditability. Community developed events, and the definition of success in 3, 6, and 12 months for this project, and also a budget breakdown. So I'm going to go into a little bit more details about this criteria in a bit, but generally this is how a proposal should look. And also they can, of course, they need to say how much dollars they are asking for. This proposal is asking for $54,000, and they can attach different media. For example, we've got a YouTube link here. They can attach PDFs, images. For example, they've got an image here and a PDF, just as I said. So very basically, this is IDScale. You have a list of all the challenges here. You can just navigate through this through this list and see in which stage we are within the cycle or the fund, and see where we are going as well. You can also see like previous campaigns, like Fund 5, Fund 4, Fund 3, and previous funds. So you can check the history here, what happened like 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 1 year ago. It's all saved here. Coming back to the presentation. So are there any other questions so far?
Why can't we see ratings, see other CA ratings in idea scale during the CA stage?
So you don't get influenced by other people's opinions. You have to make your own mind about the proposal. So we are going to talk about this later. You can check how many assessments that proposal already received, but you cannot check what was the score given by other CAs. So you have to make up your own mind about it.
And if I become a community advisor, will everyone know that I'm one of the CAs?
Good question. Thanks for the question. The CAs are anonymous. You can just register in IDScale and be a CA, and almost nobody are going to know about this. Only people who work in IOG, but I'm sure they're not going to disclose your information. So you are going to be anonymous, but not for VCAs. VCAs are not anonymous. But for example, if you imagine almost all of you are new here and you want to be a CA, nobody is going to know that you are working as a CA. You are just going to have an ID like assessor number 57. And this is how the VCAs are going to identify you. They are not going to see your name. So they can compare your assessments from different proposals, but they are not going to know who you are.
Thank you.
Hey, Melanie.
Hi, Victor. Just wanted to clarify that CAs cannot be assessing in the same challenge they might have a proposal in, and just want to find out how that gets caught. Maybe, you know, if someone does it by accident or on purpose.
So if you, sorry, if you assess a proposal in the same challenge where you submitted the proposal, there are some checks in the background that are going to be done, and your assessments are going to be removed from that challenge. Your proposal is remaining there, but your assessments are going to be removed. So there are many ways to do this that IOG team is checking if people are really working the way they should. And if they're not, the assessments are being removed and they are not receiving rewards for their hard work. Thanks for the question. So I think I explained this already. What is IDScale? Basically, it's this platform that I just showed, that I just presented to you guys. It's where proposals submit the ideas, the proposals. Community members can provide feedback, and all the information that is checked by IOG. And if you haven't signed up yet, please feel free to do it now. I won't mind. And so let's get to the assessment itself, the work done by CAs. So how to assess a proposal? There are 3 different criteria that the CAs use to assess a proposal. They are impact, feasibility, and auditability. I'm getting to more details in the next slide. But as I mentioned already, the CAs need to give a score from 1 to 5 to each of these criteria. It's not like an overall. The overall score is going to be calculated automatically later. You just need to give the score to each one of these criteria. And also you have to provide a rationale or an explanation justifying the score given. Why are you rating these like 1 star? Why is this a bad proposal? What's missing? What's lacking there? And or for example, why did you give like 5 stars for this proposal? Why it's excellent? Why you are highly confident that they are going to deliver what they are promising? What are the facts? What's the text that appears in the proposal that gives you this grasp or this feeling or this information that this is going to be done or not? And I added a link here for you guys to check the voter tool that was used in Fund 5, because it's a good way for you to find assessments that CAs gave in previous funds. So I'm not sure if I've shared the link to this presentation with you. I'm doing it now. And I'm sharing the link to the voter tool. So this is the voter tool. You can search. This was supposed to be used mainly during the voting phase, but it's such a useful tool that we use it during other phases of Catalyst as well. You can just search for a proposal here. Just write, for example, DAO, and it's going to. It should give me. It's maybe refresh.
More than 3 characters, because
Okay.
it's a limitation.
Okay, that's language then. Then it gives me all the proposals that have language in the title, for example, or link in the title. And I can also open each of the challenges. This was from Fund 5, but for example, I'm going to open this one, and I can see the reviews that other CAs gave in previous funds. For example, this proposal effectively addresses the challenge. This is the impact criteria. This is the feasibility criteria. Given the experience and plan presented, it's highly likely this proposal will be implemented successfully. So we can see that every assessment has a score and a rationale. And I would say that back then, we didn't have these good and excellent and filtered out classifications that the CAs give now in Fund 6. So we can see here that some of these assessments are not excellent. I think today they would be filtered out. But it's at least a good source of information. For example, this one it's a little bit bigger, so it might indicate that it has a better quality. It's not necessarily that, but it's a good source of information of previous assessments performed by gave by CAs in previous funds. So as I mentioned, the 3 criteria are impact, feasibility, and auditability. And these are just some of the leading questions that you should ask yourself when reading a proposal in order to come up with a score, the rationale. For example, for impact, what's the added value to the Cardano ecosystem if this proposal gets funded? Is this proposal aligned with the challenge? You need to read the campaign brief of that challenge to know about this. And is the impact of this proposal local or global? Are they affecting like a small local community somewhere in the world, or they are going to impact the whole ecosystem? Like it's a, for example, a revolutionary new wallet that integrates with, I don't know, the bank of your country or something like that. And what's the ability to scale? What ability? What's the level of the scalability, I would say, of this proposal? Can it like reach out to more people in the future? It's going to be difficult to do that. It's going to be hard to do that. There are many other questions. I'm going to share the links to some guidelines later, where you can really see some examples of good and excellent assessments and other criteria, other questions that you should ask yourself when evaluating the impact of a proposal. The second one is feasibility, which is basically when you try to match the goals of the proposal and the ability of the proposer or the proposing team. Let's say there's a proposal out there that aims to create a decentralized exchange, but none of the participants in the proposal have any tech background. So I wouldn't be so confident that they are going to deliver this proposal. They could, for example, say that they don't have the tech background, but they are going to hire someone to do this. They are already interviewing some people. So this would be better than nothing, but it's not ideal. They don't have someone on board already. And also you need to check the roadmap, if it's realistic or not, if people are already working on the proposal, if there is enough people to deliver what they're promising, and also about the budget, because if they say they want to do something that is huge, but they're asking for a little amount of money, it doesn't make much sense, and it would seem that they are actually not going to deliver that. They are probably running out of budget. So these are some examples of things that you have to pay attention when assessing the feasibility of a proposal. And the last one is the auditability criteria, which is how can the community audit the project progress? Are there KPIs, roadmap milestones? What are the delivery dates? Are they clear? And are the risks taken into consideration when writing this proposal? Every funded proposal have to submit a bi-weekly report to IOG to talk about their progress in the previous 2 weeks. And all this information, the KPIs, roadmap, milestones, delivery dates, they all are used and should be mentioned in these reports. So a proposal that has a high score for auditability, it has all of this. It shows how they are going to evolve with time, what they are trying to achieve, and it's easy for the community to follow up with their development, if they are delivering or not, if they are delayed somehow, for example, or if they are ahead of the schedule. So basically, these are the 3 criteria that the CAs use to evaluate the proposals. I'm going to open the guidelines in a bit to give some more information about this, but are there any questions so far? Yeah, Melanie.
Sorry, I just have a question. Being quite familiar with teaching, using a rubric, it may be something to look into. It's really an easy way for everybody to be on the same page, and for a voter to look at it and go, okay, they're picking, because you've got in assessment criteria impact, you've got 4 questions, and then you have to come up with one number. And if you had, you know, like 5, wow, this adds value. It's a 2 because they don't have this in my mind. It's a 3 local impact, and they're just numbers, and you'd have an explanation for why you're choosing that number in those 4, and then a summary that gives you an overall of, and maybe this is already being done, but then it gives a summary of an overall score, really super fast and easy for people to look at. They don't have to read. And especially if language is an issue, the reading and making sense of English or the words, this might be a really easy way for voters to be efficient at voting, and CAs to be more efficient at this work. Just an idea.
Yeah, I like it. Good point. I think that this, I'm not sure if there is something being done in this regard, but I think this is an excellent suggestion to improve the system. I think it would improve not only the quality, but maybe the pace at which the CAs provide their feedback, and would give more information to the voters as well. But for example, if you want to do this today, you can, in your rationale, in your justification, you can give a different score for each of these questions, and then just calculate an average and submit this as the overall for impact. But you can be as much detailed as you want in your assessment.
And so in the comment and in the assessment, you can actually add a graph or not, or is it just strictly limited to words?
Yes, just text. Yeah, just characters.
Mm-hmm. That would make it hard to make the graph.
Yeah.
But it's a challenge. It's a challenge within a challenge. I think I can do it.
Nice. That's the spirit. Any other questions here? No. So let's move on. Talking about the rewards now. I think all of you saw the presentation during the town hall today, when I gave more details about this, but I'm just going to give an overview here now. So the total funds to be distributed to all CAs in Fund 6 is $160,000. And the assessments are going to be classified as excellent, good, or filtered out by the VCAs during the quality assurance phase. And the excellent ones are going to receive 3 times more than the good ones, than the good assessments. And it's not possible to calculate exactly how much each one is going to receive today, because we are not sure if the number of proposals is going to change, because people can withdraw their proposals before the end of the finalizing week, for example. And in some cases, we are probably going to have that left over. We are not going to use all the rewards for a single proposal, so this is going to be returned to the overall budget. But just as an estimate, in Fund 6, each excellent assessment will receive $53.33, and each good one will receive $17.78. And these values may increase or decrease depending on the bonus rewards of total assessments. And I think I don't have a slide for this here, but I mentioned during town hall, 20% of all this budget here is going, which is $32,000, is going to be used and distributed for the CAs who have assessed the proposals that were approved by the community. And by approved, it means that they received 15 more yeses than nos. And this is going to increase the $160 that a single proposal would have as a CA reward budget. In some cases, it could be to 200. In some cases, it could be for almost $500 for a single proposal. But what we expect is that the CAs will see the higher budget proposals that are probably going to be approved. So they are going to give priority to these ones. So more CAs are going to be reviewed there. So there's some game theory behind this. We have more CAs there, and then the rewards for CAs are going to be more distributed, but the amount is going to be, we expect it to be somehow equal to the amount in the other assessments, other proposals actually. And here we've got some guides, some general resources for CAs, like some facts, some other links. And we've got 3 different guidelines, one for community advisor onboarding, like for community advisor guide, and proposal assessment guide. I'm going to share all these links here, if Lucho hasn't done this already. I was faster, Lucho. So you can, oh, sorry, these are hyperlinks. I cannot just copy and paste. So first one, second one, third one. So as many things here, things are changing. So you can see some suggestions here, some changes that are being made. But you can check the history of the no, you cannot check the history here, sorry. But you can check the older versions in the websites that are linked here. These 2 are 2 different community websites that were created. They were funded in Catalyst. They submitted their proposals there, and they got funded, and they are developing all this content to the community to support the community. So, for example, here you've got a FAQ. Who can come? Why should I come? How can I come? How can I be effective? And at the end, you have some links to different resources. And same here, you've got some links to some different, some are the same resources as the other website, but some are different. And let's open one of these. For example, the guide. There are some general guidelines here. Some things here are outdated already. We are updating this, so we expect this to be updated before the assessment week begins next Thursday. But there are some information that are going to be used, that are going to be valuable anyways. For example, for scoring criteria, you've got a description about what to evaluate regarding the impact of that proposal. Some suggested characteristics of an impactful proposal. And here's some example of different assessments. Like this is an example. This is another example. Third example. And same for all different criteria for feasibility. Some examples for feasibility and auditability, also some examples here. So these are not changing much. You can already read them and trust the information that's here, but at the end, especially here during this review of the assessment phase, this is changing a bit because of this new system. So this is This is another document. This is a community advisor guide. I think this was created by IOG. It also has some information, some meaning about the score, what 1 star means, what is 5-star means. This is going to change a bit as well. Talks about the incentives, guiding principles as well, and a onboarding FAQ, another one. So many different resources, many different words for the same information. You can just choose which one you prefer, which one you find the best one. And we also have created a community advisor tool that is used to suggest different proposals for you to assess based on the number of assessments that were already provided to that proposal. For example, if you just check a proposal in ID scale, you don't know how many CAs already assessed it, because, for example, if you see 2, one has 10 assessments and one has 2 assessments, you're most probably going to prefer to assess the proposal with only 2 assessments, because there are higher chances that you are going to be rewarded for that. So it's a way to distribute the workload for CAs, and also not make sure, but try to make sure that every proposal is assessed at least 5 times by every by the CA's cohort. So I think Lucio, would you like to present the tool?
Yes, of course. Okay. Yep. I'll share my screen. Okay. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. Here is the link. Okay. Just one note. Basically, this is not updated. We will update the tool in the next weeks, in the next week, and probably we will make some improvements also to provide some guiding question for community advisors. So basically, when you are choosing your the proposal to assess, you also have some guiding question to help you. Okay, basically at the address you can see there are some resources. Also, these resources will be updated in the next funds, and there is this select here that allows you basically to pick up the challenges that you want to assess, and you are seeing the data from the last fund. And but obviously in the next week you will see a lot of more challenges. And then the main feature is this big button here that suggests you a proposal based on the filter that you selected. It will present you the first proposal that has the lower number of assessments. And it provides you some basic information like the challenge, the proposal title, the problem statement, and the solution proposed. And with this button here, you can go to the proposal, and it will open idea scale, all data, so bad link. And then we have this checkbox here that basically allows you to keep track of the assessment that you have already reviewed. So when you check, for example, I opened this proposal, I made my assessment in idea scale, and then I check this checkbox here. And on the bottom, I will see the list of the proposal that I already assessed. And after that, I can just click another time this button here, and it will present you the next proposal to assess. And basically, in this way, the main idea is to coordinate better the workload between CAs and distribute better the number of the assessments. I think that's all.
Yeah, I think Navid has a question.
Yes.
And so do we have any information or MI around how much attention voters are actually placing on the CA assessment? So are they, you'd assume voters would vote positively for 5-star assessments as opposed to 1-star assessments, or are they just going random?
Yeah.
The name, I would like the pictures.
Yes, we've got some information about this. It's good that you asked, because let me share my screen again. Because I can talk about my own proposal, eFund 6. I submitted a proposal for exploratory data analysis to be done for every Catalyst fund. And one of the things that I was checking was exactly this. This is the score of the proposals, and this is the requested budget. And blue dots are the funded proposals, yellow dots are the approved but over budget proposals, and not approved are the red ones. So you can see that I think only proposals with more than 3 stars were funded and actually were approved, right? And it increases here. If you have a higher score, you can ask for more higher percentage of the challenge fund. So it looks like there's a magic triangle here. And also about the upvotes, it's very related to the scores given by the CAs. You can see here is the absolute number of voting power that upvoted each of the proposals, and you can see that it seems to grow like exponentially with the score. So it has a huge influence in this other graph here. Each of these rows are the different challenges, and here we've got the scores. So you can see that higher scores are usually funded, but in some cases even high scores are not like really necessary or are not sufficient for the proposals to be funded. So the scores are not like the final word. Actually, the voters do whatever they want, but the CAs have some influence in the process.
Okay, perfect. That's really helpful. And nice sales pitch for your proposal as well.
Yeah, I'm going to edit this in and submit an attachment here with this explanation.
You got my vote. You can have all my money.
At the moment, it was not really a good proposal, or not,
No, it's
Victor?
not. You can see here my proposal details coming soon, because I didn't have the time yet to put everything here. I just have a title, a problem statement, describe the solution, and my experience.
You have still like 14 hours to fill it, so no problem.
You have nice pictures. It's good.
Actually, I've got until next week, right? I cannot receive more comments after tomorrow, but I can still edit until next Thursday. Yeah. There are some other plots that are interesting, but are not necessarily related to the scores, but you can take a look. I'm going to share the link here to the proposal as well. And here at the end, there are some links to different places within the community where you can find people who are who can help you in learning something, different projects where you can meet different people from the community. For example, the main Project Catalyst Discord server, and also the Telegram group. The Community Advisors Telegram group, if you want to be a CA, it's advisable that you join this group because some announcements are there. You can ask people anything you want there as well. We have the Catalyst School Discord server. We've got some channels here for different languages. You can ask something like in Portuguese, in Spanish, and all the other languages that I've mentioned. And some partners like WADA, West Africa Decentralized Alliance, you can join the Discord. The Swarm sessions that are like events that occur every Saturday, and they bring people from the community to talk about their projects, their ideas, their perspectives, or sometimes there is like a poker table in one of the breakout rooms. You can just sit down and play with everyone. The Gemba Labs, if you want to learn about how to develop in Haskell, for example, or work in the Plutus platform, you can join Gemba Labs sessions. You can find more information in the Discord. And the Eastern Hemisphere Town Hall that occurs every Thursday at 12 UTC. And this is the last slide. And what next? It's up to you. It's up for you to choose. So I hope everyone here is a CA in Fund 6 because we are struggling with the number of CAs that we've got. We have 800 proposals out there right now. And if we want every proposal to have at least 5 assessments, it means that we need 4,000 assessments. So brace yourselves. The proposals are coming. Yeah, Benjamin.
I wanted. Sorry.
Sorry, Benjamin, then Luis.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, I wondered if there is perhaps an assessment for the assessors at the end, where each assessor will become informed of which ones were thrown out, which ones were excellent, which ones were good, just to kind of evaluate their own understanding and then be able to eventually compare against the other things so that in the next round, we become more capable at our position or our work or whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so this assessment, the way it's done today, it is just this classification, as I mentioned, if the assessment is excellent, good, or filtered out. But this is just a checkbox. It doesn't have like an explanation that the VCAs don't write anything about them. And the way it is done now, it's the VCAs, after they review these assessments, a single Excel sheet is created with all the reviews, like one column for the proposal, one column for the assessor, one column for the criteria, and then what the VCA decided about that assessment. So you can, for example, the VCAs, the CAs are anonymous, so, but if you've saved one of your assessments, you can just look for it in this Excel sheet and find out your assessor number, and then filter all your assessments and check if they were excellent, they were good, or they were filtered out.
Great. So it's a little bit of manual work for us, so that's just fine. But this is how we would do it, right? This spreadsheet, and we'll ask about that in the Telegram or something like that.
Yes, yes. Much of the work is currently now some stuff is automatic already because the community is creating some different tools like the one that Lucho presented that are making our lives easier. But the way this specific part of the process is done today, it's still manual.
Thank you.
I think Luis wanted to ask something first.
Yes, I just wanted to ask if there's a need to wait for some kind of approval, or I can just register and study the documents you showed us, but starting to, assessing the different proposals, this Fund 6 already?
You can start assessing them, but not submit the assessments in IDScale because it's not open yet. The assessment week officially starts next Thursday, 9th of September. But for example, if you can read a proposal there and write down your assessment in a local doc file, for example, and when the assessment week opens, you can just review the proposal because it's possible that it was edited by the proposer or the proposing team. So you need to check if your assessment is still valid, and then you edit your assessment or not and submit it in IDScale. But officially only starting next Thursday.
Right, but I just need to register. There's not like some kind of approval by the veterans or something like that.
No, you just need to register to sign up in IDScale and then check the checkbox saying that you want to be a CA in Fund 6. This checkbox is showing up starting tomorrow.
Thanks. Awesome system, very good.
Yeah, Mike.
Yes, hello. I'm gonna lower my hand already. I'm one of these, I don't know, it's funny, I voted in Fund 3 and clicked on some link that said, you know, I just ended up being a CA in Fund 4, sort of by accident. It was a happy accident. But because of moving from Sweden to the US and lots of other things that have gone on, I sort of fell out after being a CA for that one Fund 4 situation or fund. And then I felt like I fell off the map a little bit, like I wasn't getting certain information, also wasn't plugging in, especially a lot. So I was just wondering how that works now. Things have improved amazingly since Fund 4, I think, you know, with all, of course, the tool was there, but you know, things have gotten better and better. So it's one reason I joined today. I said, you know, I'm getting the time back and ability to focus on this. So I want to be able to, you know, jump back in, so to speak. If I've already registered, I guess that's one question, in Fund 4 and done it, what do I have to do now?
You need to register again.
Again, yeah. Okay. In each fund, okay, yeah. And also I had a question because I know from having participated in almost all the town halls and stuff, there's been some discourse or discussion about the idea of reputation. And I think it's really interesting, some of the discussion we had today and the people asking questions, you know, about anonymity versus, I guess, being evaluated as a CA, for example. And I think there's some idea that, you know, as we improve and build and iterate, there'll be some aspect of this idea of reputation building, whether it's, you know, again, anonymous or linked to a specific name or something like that. Is there something any of you would say about that?
I think what I can say is that this problem was identified already, and it is today one of the main problems of the assessment system. I'm not sure if you are aware of the Catalyst Circle. It's like the start of the governance of Catalyst that might evolve to Voltaire in the future, and each group has a different person representing them, and the idea is that every group raises their main problems. They sense the problems and they also decide which ones are more important. And the CAs chose 2 problem statements. The first one was that the reward system was not compensating the high quality assessments and was not fair to the VCAs. And this is changing already, so it's good. It's good because we are evolving. And the second one is exactly this, what you mentioned, that there's no reputation system for a CA today. Because, for example, a good CA, it could have like higher influence in the final score, it could receive more rewards than other CAs. This is happening already due to the excellent and good. But for example, if you are consistent, only giving excellent reviews, maybe it could make sense that this CA should receive a bit more rewards than the others. So there's no system for this. I think some people are already thinking about different reputation systems, but we don't have any solutions like to prototype yet. So this is still in the research phase, I would say.
That's great. I just was wondering about that because and again, I can say to the others who are wanting to be CAs, or for you who are going to be doing these workshops, I have my certain levels of expertise in certain areas of, all of the Cardano community set of interests, you could say, and certainly not in the technical stuff, like as a dev or, something like that. So I think that's another aspect of becoming a CA, is choosing your domain expertise area. And, whether it's in marketing or project management, or, again, I teach film. I'm a filmmaker. So, for me, it's teaching students how to pitch, or making a pitch deck, for example, in business, something I'm pretty good at. But, I'm not very good at assessing, a very thorough assessment of something that's more development, or coding based or whatever. So I know that that's come up in the past too, with certain members of the community talking about their areas of expertise, versus where they're not. So that, I think it's developing a lot. And I think that's going to be part of the reputation-based thing, but also how you divide yourself up and what proposals you will choose to try to have an impact on. So
I think that also based on your example, the new system basically will allow you also to declare that you don't have a specific expertise. Probably the assessment will not be excellent, but it's still valid. There are still some formal aspects of each proposal that you can evaluate. So basically, this can be a strategy. It's obvious not the ideal one. If you're an expertise, it's better to evaluate the proposal that fits with your expertise. But it's basically, I think that it's important that the CA role is open to everyone. Even for the future, if you think about the first time you are evaluating something, it's important that you can be free to just express your opinion based on the guidelines, but basically something not really technical or specific.
Yeah. Any other questions, guys? I think we are close to the end here. Nope. So thanks everyone. I hope that you are all CAs in Fund 6. Hope to see you around. Please join the Catalyst School Telegram and Discord, and enjoy your time here in Catalyst.
Thank you, Victor.
Thank you, Victor. Great job as always.
Thanks.
Awesome.